Hello from Tokyo.
Hello.
Before we forget and before we move on to what we've been doing here, we thought we would go through some tips, just like for China, Beijing, just from our experience.
Yep.
Obviously, this is the first time we have visited China and the first time we visited Beijing. So this is only our kind of like personal experience. Some of it might be right, some of it might be wrong, but we can only share with you what we experienced.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, someone left a comment. I'm really sorry, I've not got your username because I'm filming on my iPhone right now because my camera broke as soon as we arrived. So everything's kind of shonky on my iPhone. I don't know your username, but someone commented saying there were certain things that they wish they'd known before they had visited. So this is also kind of like getting into that these are things that might help, might not. You might already know, you might not know, but these are things that we kind of researched, we found, and did make things a bit easier. So let's get on with it before I carry on waffling and before I run out of memory on my phone. So, one, definitely take a mask. That is really, really essential because it can get smoggy, but it can also be okay. So, for example, there's the AQI, the Air Quality Index, and it tells you how many parts per cubic inch there are in the air. And it kind of wildly veered with us between something like 49, which is green, and over 200, which is in the red scale. And we found we did need a mask at points. Because there was the day that we went to the Forbidden City, it was so smoggy. You could barely see the end of the road. So you do need to take a mask. You might not need it. Fingers crossed you don't need it. But please take one just in case, because if you have asthma or any kind of breathing problems, it will make you struggle. So take a mask. Number two, people will on the street. Now, this isn't anything kind of shameful or, you know, ooh, that's quite disgusting. It's just a kind of heads up, because that's their way of blowing their nose. To them, blowing your nose in a handkerchief and keeping hold of it is disgusting. And you can kind of see the logic there. So because the air is kind of bad, people will be like hocking things up and spitting them out, and they will just spit on the street. So don't be kind of put off by it. Don't be like, oh, that's disgusting. It's something everyone does because of the air quality and because you get kind of things caught in you.
People staring at you.
People will stare.
I mean, really stare.
A lot. We saw very, very few Westerners there. Compared to here in Tokyo, where we're seeing loads of Westerners, there were very, very few in Beijing. And I'm not talking about people like... I'm talking about people like staring in your face. So just a heads up at that. Again, it's not people being rude. It's not like anyone trying to be horrible or nasty. It's just that people will stare. So just heads up so you can be fine and get over it. We're in Asia, so vegetarian often means vegan with the occasional bit of egg. So it will normally label that there is egg. But again, if you see something's vegetarian, chances are it's vegan. Just ask if it's got egg. I didn't see anything with milk or dairy in it. Everything's been really, really well labelled. Which brings us to Happy Cow. Happy Cow are fantastic for giving you information on where to eat and what restaurants do, but their directions are awful. 2 places we ended up looking like 2 blocks away because the map on Happy Cow is so wrong. Use Happy Cow because it's brilliant, but take the address and use Apple Maps. Not Google Maps, because you can't use Google in China. Use Apple Maps to find the place, because otherwise, I can't think of the vegan version of this. Happy Cow will send you on a wild goose chase. A wild strawberry chase. I don't know. I don't know what the vegan equivalent of wild goose chase is.
We'll have to think of one.
Let us know in the comments. Right. Yes, use Apple Maps. You can't use anything relating to Google. So, and also Facebook, Instagram. This was another thing, because normally when I'm researching where to eat when we go to a foreign country, I use Instagram, because you see the pictures, you get links to the places, you kind of get a feel for the place. You don't get that in China.
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you won't be able to use unless you get a VPN. I had a bit of a hit and miss with VPNs. I wasn't going to bother, but then so much didn't work, and we were trying to Google if we could fix my camera, and it's like, I can't Google it. Okay, Yahoo, that didn't work. Ask.com, I'm thinking back to like, God, when I was in college, what was there before Google? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It can be really hard if you need to get information. So, yeah, VPNs are out there. They're a bit hit and miss. But if you can do without it, Apple Maps is your friend. It's crap for everything else, but Apple Maps is your friend in China.
Very much so.
What else have we got?
Streets being closed.
Yes. So, you can come out of places and streets will be blocked off with security.
Yep.
So be prepared to go through a lot of security. Carry your passport with you at all times, because while some of them you'll go through and they won't want your passport.
Yeah, they'll just wave you through.
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh yeah, fine, whatever, because they've got like a scanner system for the ID cards. Some will want your passport, so carry it. You also need your passport to get into the Forbidden City. Your passport is your ticket because they put in your passport number. So you just carry your passport at all times because there's a lot of security. You will go through security getting on the tube. You will go through security getting into Tiananmen Square, getting into temples, getting into anywhere. So be prepared to go through a lot of security.
Yep.
And travel light because of that. I mean, they don't pull everything apart, but if you've got this big hunking bag and you've got to put it through an X-ray machine every kind of, I don't know, couple of hours,
yeah,
it can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So
Gets
we
old real
have,
quick.
where is it? We carried our little cankins,
Yep.
and most of the time they just contained our wallet, our passport, and a drink.
Yeah, and they were fine
And
with
like
that.
a handkerchief, and that's fine because they don't really care. They're kind of like a bit slapdash about it because they have like a metal
Security
detector,
one.
and they'll go through and they'll literally just go, yeah, next. They don't give a shit, but you still have to go through the kind of rigmarole with it.
Yep.
You will get not pushed and barged. There's just a lot of, everyone's in a rush. There's not a lot of space, so people will kind of like, what's the word? Bustle around you. That's not the right word. That's not the word I'm thinking of. People will jostle you. That's it. They're not being rude. It's just that's how it works. It's almost like if you've ever been to London.
Super London.
Yeah, because I grew up around London. That you just like, right, that is where I'm going. I am just going. But you do kind of like avoid people. You have to stick to your guns. You'll be like, I am going this way. And you have to just go. Don't and be like, you can't be meek. You can't be sheepish. You just have to go.
I'm rubbish in this.
Yeah, I'm just like, that way, bye. Whereas you're too polite.
Yeah, the number of times that you just sort of put my hand on your shoulder and held it.
Yeah, I'm just like, right, we're going this way.
Yeah.
Because if you kind of people will just wash you away and you'll just not get anywhere. So you have to be very forward and very this. But you will also get people that are just plain rude. As you will with anywhere in the world. When we were getting into the Forbidden City, we were kind of like a few people back, and none of them were tourists. They were all mainland Chinese, and still someone like elbowed someone out the way and put their bag down to go through the X-ray machine. It was like, okay, love, no need to be rude. But even the woman she did it in front of was like, so yeah. It's not everyone. Some people are just rude, as they are in anywhere in the world, but don't take it personally. It's just the way people are and just the way things run. Everyone's in a rush. Everywhere's busy. There's not a lot of space, so you have to like get in there and dodge.
Yep.
What else have we got?
Crossing the road.
Crossing the road is
Scary.
an experience. So, you get this in like France. You get it in Thailand. You do get it in a few different places around the world where when the light goes green, it doesn't necessarily mean you're the only person crossing the road.
No.
So it also means people turning in cars can go.
Yep.
But it's like, it's not quite as bad as Thailand. It also means that, you know, anyone else who fancies going at that time can. So you'll have like motorbikes and cyclists and cars and buses and just, again, you have to be like, I am going this way. Keep your wits about you and obviously be sensible, but you need to pay attention when you're crossing the road.
Yeah.
It's not quite as bad as Thailand, where they completely ignore what the colour of the sign is. Yeah. They're like, oh, it's red. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
But do be careful.
It's pretty close to that. Speaking of which, bikes and mopeds on pavements.
Yep. You will get mopeds coming at you on a pavement. So, again, be prepared. They're electric, so you can't hear them. So again, you do have to pay a lot of attention. They will honk you. So yeah. Again, it's just kind of hazardous. You just need to keep your wits about you because there's a lot going on at the same time.
Oh, another thing with crossing the road is there are huge sections of the pavement which are just sealed off, and you can't have railings. That's
more around places like Tiananmen Square where there's a lot of security. They will just shut certain bits out completely. So you'll need to kind of go uphill, down dale, through all sorts of things to get there. So, Also, on the subject of going uphill, down dale, and moving about, get yourself a Metro card.
Yeah.
We got one and it was, what, 100 yuan?
50 yuan each.
Yeah, 50 yuan each, sorry. And you got 40 yuan credit on it. And that lasted us the entire time. It's like 2 yuan, 3 yuan, depending how far you go.
Per journey. But it's
just
so much easier.
Get on at the beginning because you can just wave yourself through. It's so much easier.
Yep.
And last but not least, money.
Yep.
Virtually nowhere took our card.
Yeah.
The only place that did it was Starbucks.
Yep.
So you can get money out of a cash machine very, very easily. There's a lot of banks.
Yep.
But you can't use your card in shops.
Yep.
So again, just to be aware of that. It's not the end of the world. It's not that big a deal.
Yep.
If you're aware of it.
Yep. Oh, the other thing is to be wary of, and that is the first time I used a cash point in China, they did not have the keys laid out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. It was 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. With the 0 in the wrong, and if like me you're not a this is my code, it's a this is the pattern in which I do it, then all of a sudden you're like
oh shit,
what?
But also you said that, and then we went to another one, and two of them had it the right way around and one of them was upside down. So yeah, that is a very good point.
It was just confusing.
Yep. Also, one last thing, sorry, if you're not going to use a VPN because they can be a pain in the ass, download WeChat. I use it to keep in contact with my friend, and yeah, it works really, really well in China. So if there's someone you need to keep in contact with, it just makes it so much easier, and it's like super quick, regardless of what's going on with the Chinese great firewall thing. Yep. Yeah, like. Yeah, it was great fun. We're in Japan now where Wi-Fi works and it's super quick. So yeah, there you go. Okay, I forgot something. Toilets. This is, again, very, very essential. You will not find toilets in restaurants, but you will find public toilets everywhere. So you will never be like struggling to find one. However, they are mostly squat toilets, like 99% squat toilets that we found, which if you're used to them, if you've used them like we have, isn't a big problem. But, you know, not everyone's kind of mobility allows for that. So that is something to bear in mind. You will not be provided with toilet roll. That is very, very rare. And also there is nowhere to wash your hands. So you need to carry toilet roll with you and some way of washing your hands afterwards. How I forgot something essential as this off of the main list, I don't know. But that is the very last thing that I wished to add, because that is kind of important. But in restaurants, you will normally have somewhere that you can wash your hands before you eat. So that's kind of cool. But the lack of bog roll and lack of like washing facilities after you've been to the loo will take a little bit of getting used to. So just make sure you carry something with you. And that's the last thing, I promise. Those are our rambling mainly my ramblings about China, and I hope some of that has helped. And we will also do another video to talk about visas, because we did have some kind of like weird things with that. So we will talk about that another time. In the meantime, please subscribe, because there are more videos coming.
Yep.
And check us out on Patreon, because there's going to be stuff coming up on there. And we will see you again soon.